All right. So, uh, a lot of times I get asked by buyers that are looking for a property close to the University of Florida. They're like, okay, first of all, I want to buy close to UF because my child is going to be going to school and I'd like to get something underneath 300,000. And I will tell you for the most part, that does not exist. It's very, very rare that property would come up. And if it does, it's usually not in a condition that a parent would want to put their child in there. So we're going to look at what properties cost around the University of Florida and what you can get. In this particular case, I am looking for a buyer that is looking for at least a 3-bedroom, 2-bath underneath 500,000, close to the university, would prefer possibly a house, is open to a condo. So we're going to start with looking at a house first, and we're going to use realtor.com just because I find that it's the most comprehensive site, and they usually update within 15 minutes of any changes of any properties going onto the market. So here I've put in Gainesville, Florida. And the price I will put, the maximum is 500,000. Property type is going to be a house. Number of rooms, at least 3. And at least 2 bathrooms. Now, I always recommend that anybody who's looking for a home that you click hide the pending and contingent because you get excited about a property that is not available. Usually those people don't even want to show it because they don't want to be inconvenienced, or if they have tenants in there, the tenants don't want to be inconvenienced. Now, is there a chance that that property will fall through and it will come back on the market? Yes, but usually we do not see that happening. The seller will try to do whatever they can to help the buyer through the closing process instead of starting all over. So I recommend, hiding the pending, hiding the foreclosures, and then we're not looking for 55 and over community because these are kids in college, so they wouldn't qualify. And we will start with that. Now, as you can see, there's currently 272 homes that come up with using Gainesville as the city, but we're looking specifically to be close to the University of Florida. And so if I come in on my map, when I'm helping buyers, usually they want to be in this quadrant right here. So this is 8th Avenue, and this is University. This is 13th Street, and this is 34th Street. So this is oftentimes the most desirable area that people are looking to be in. And because of that, it's also the most expensive area. The closer you get to the university, where your kids can literally just walk across the street versus needing to get a scooter, ride a bike, or have a longer walking distance, the more expensive it's going to be. Most of the homes in this area are original. There are some that have done updating, but those, as you can see, they're going to be well over $500,000. Now, we have only 2 in this quadrant. There's one for 389 and one for 388. So let's look at this one first because it is the closest to the university. And I will tell you, I am familiar with this property. It does back up to 8th Avenue. So that's something you're going to want to consider. And I want you as a seller and a buyer to remember this. When you look at this home, you're like, wow, it backs up right up to 8th Avenue. I'm not going to pay 389 for it. I'm going to want to get a little bit more money off. The same thing is going to happen when you go to sell it. So that's going to be something they're going to say to you, they're going to be like, wow, whatever price tag you put on there, they're going to say, but there's a lot of road noise. It backs right up to it. And that's going to be the downfall of it. So do keep that in mind. That's going to be your bargaining chip, but that's also going to be used against you in the future. So if we look at that house, that is this one right here. I mean, it looks like a great house from the photos. It does look like the windows are old windows. And of course, I don't know the age of the roof. That would hopefully be in the seller disclosure. I've actually toured this home before. I did have a buyer that was interested in this home, but it just was right outside of its price point for them. Large living room. They do have a fireplace. There's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom on this one side of the house. And it is an older home, so it has that charm. that a lot of people do like by having homes that are, older in Gainesville. Kitchen is original. And then this is the going into the second part of the house towards the back of the home. There's another bedroom, two bedrooms back there, and another bathroom. So this is going into that area, second part of the house. It's got a nice green porch on the side, huge yard, and this is the fence that's going to be right up against 8th Avenue on here. And so you've got some back parking there. So that could be in contender. As you can see for 388, you've got an older home, but you're paying for the proximity to the University of Florida. So just a little bit further away over here, we've got another 388 home. And this is also on a main road or right off the main road. It looks like it's also got a very large yard, but I can see that if not all, some of the windows have been updated. You can tell the kitchen is larger, a little bit more updating in the kitchen here. The bedrooms have a solid floor and some updating to the bathrooms that we didn't see in the other property. So a few more updates. Some of the windows have been updated, if not all of them. And price tag is about the same, but you are a little bit further away from the university. Not huge either way. You're either going to be, a good walk, and you're going to either be driving a car or taking a scooter. But you have a more updated house with this particular property. Now, let's look at what's close by. A lot of people, if they can't find the price point or the house that they're looking for in this quadrant, will oftentimes go another quadrant up. So now we're going north of it, and we have a 360, a 500, and basically a 500. So let's start with the 360, and let's see what this is going to get. This took a huge price reduction and went down $55,000. And this is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, so we're a larger home here. Looks like it's got new windows as well. Got tile flooring, fireplace. Looks like some of the windows have been updated. Some of the kitchen has been updated. Very industrial look there. Inside laundry, that's always nice. So do you remember it is $360,000? You're paying for the proximity to UF. We've got an original bathroom. And we do have a window unit. I'm not seeing any vents up here. It either could just be poor circulation, or they may not have ductwork that goes to that room, whereas you can see the ductwork is here. And it does have a shed out back. So that could be a possibility. I mean, 380 to 388 to 360. Here we've got a 500 and 500. So let's take a look at what you get for 500. This one's a 4-bedroom, 2,400 square feet. Basically, this one is a 3-bedroom. It's smaller, so I'm thinking that that one may have more upgrades, but we'll start with this one first. So this one looks like they have enclosed the carport or garage. One second. Looks like there's been some updating inside. Appears that there's newer windows. Bathroom has been remodeled. Now this is a tub insert, but it looks like it's a fancy tub insert. Kitchen's been updated. Large dining area. large living area. So I do notice that there are some stairs. There's nothing wrong with stairs as long as you do not have mobility issues or someone that may be visiting you or a family member that will be residing with you do not have mobility issues. It's always something to consider. You may be perfectly healthy and fine, but when it comes to resale on these properties, the person who may be looking at the property may not have those that same strong body that you might have, and that will factor into our buyer pool and our resale ability. So it's an interesting space. I'm not really sure how to figure that into the layout. It would definitely be one of those things that you're just going to need to see to figure out how it lays out. But concrete block, so that's nice. So this could be a possibility, 4 bedroom, 3 bath, basically 2,400 square feet. It's a good size. And then let's go look at the one that's a smaller property, but the same price to find out, what are we getting between the two? Okay. I'm thinking these might be original windows or older windows from what I can see. Somewhat of an original bathroom. If it's the original bathroom, they've kept it in really great shape. Floors look good. Entrance looks good. Don't you love the planner from back in the day? So bright, open, airy, some older or original charm. So you'd have to tell me between the two houses. This one seems to be nice, bright, and airy, and it's a 3-2 for 500, whereas the other one was a 4-3 for 500. Has a bit more space on there, but that's where it's always interesting on what the buyer is always going to want. And whatever that may be on why you do or do not take this will be the same thing that someone's going to be looking for in the future and how we would find the buyer pool for this when a buyer wants to sell because their kids have graduated from the University of Florida and being a landlord was never their end all be all dream. Now, outside of this area, you can see we don't have a lot to pick from underneath $500,000 because most of the homes in this area do start over $500,000 and when you get into 3+ bedrooms. Now, just outside of that, we do have this one here. It's also still in a desirable area for college kids, and we've actually got 4 right here. Now, I want to let you know this particular one is literally right on the corner, and there is a school right here, and there is a park. And so great to be very, very close to that. The only issue would be getting into or out of your area because it's literally right there. So this is the house that we're looking at. It's also concrete block. It's a 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom. And it's got a lot of updates done to it. Now, this looks like a working Airbnb to me. Nothing wrong with that. It's beautifully designed and showcased, so it just may mean that the owner no longer wants to be into the short-term rental business, which could be a bonus for you if you're looking to take all the furniture with it. Now, I could be wrong, it may not be, but I really have a gut feeling that it is a working Airbnb. So this particular property appears to be in absolutely fantastic condition. You would just want to take a drive and make sure that you're okay with the location. And we do have another property here. It is also on this corner. This is a major vein artery in our area. So you've got to understand that there's going to be a lot of traffic and road noise here. It's priced at 300,000, which is pretty rare, honestly, in that quadrant, but I believe that because of its proximity to the road or right next to the road is what is affecting that price point. Looks to be in absolutely fantastic condition. Looks like there's a lot of nice updates in here for this property. It's nice and roomy. Could be good potential rental income in the future once the kids are graduated from college if you wanted to continue to have investment properties. So this could be a real contender for you. Resale, of course, could be a little bit not difficult, definitely on the challenging side. We're seeing that, it's been on the market and it has taken a price reduction, mainly because of its proximity to the road. Then we have one back here at 379. It's also a 4.2.5. You can see that they've taken the carport and or what was a garage and then turned that into a bedroom. But they've done remodeling inside, so it looks good. It appears that I can't tell if the windows are new windows or if they're original windows. But kitchen looks great. Some extra storage there. So this would be something that if I were investing, I would want to look at it. Now, the bathroom here, normally we would see original bathrooms, and those come in normally in baby blue, pink, canary yellow, and rarely have I seen a very dark blue. I have also seen tan and peach. I don't normally see white unless it's like an old Victorian home. So I'm wondering if this was painted, or if they just went ahead and retiled everything. Either way, it's fine. If it was painted, just know that you may need to repaint it prior to selling because paints sometimes peel. It looks great, makes it looks clean. Some people don't like the painting because they want the original tile, but it's going to be a 50-50. And then some people like the original parquet floors versus carpet or tile. But that would be a good contender as well. And then the last one over here is in this community, and it's 495, which is pretty much online for this community. This is also a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It's just underneath 2,000 square feet. It's also a concrete block home. This one looks like it's had a lot of updates to it. Looks really clean and in great condition with a lot of, not all, but a lot of updates. Kitchen being one of them. Great deck on the back. And then I want to say this particular house, it might be the bathrooms that did not get updated. Let me see. Nope, no, that one did get updated. Great updates there. Okay, this house was fully updated. I apologize. One thing I would want to check into would be getting the seller disclosures and finding out if they did things that we cannot see with our naked eye. That would be like the water heater, the electrical, the plumbing, and the roof on there. So those would all be good contenders. It's going to come down when you're looking at these properties. How close do you want to be to the campus? Because you're seeing that the closer you get to the campus, the more expensive it gets, as well as you may pay a lower price, but you're also going to have more things that you're going to need to do to the house as well. I mean, there are other properties on the other side, but as far as the target areas that buyers are looking for when they're coming to the University of Florida, or if a resident doctor is coming in or a new professor that wants to be close to the University of Florida, or they want to be close to the UF hospital, then they are usually looking in this area. And that is why our prices are what they are. Now, when you are looking in this area and you're thinking about coming to Gainesville, a majority of these homes are normally tenant occupied. We may be looking at photos of properties before a tenant moved in, and they could be tenant occupied. Florida law requires 24 hours minimum notice to a tenant that the property would be accessed. So if you are coming to town and you're coming in for a game and you're like, hey, meet me in 30 minutes, it's just not going to happen. Like, the law does not allow that. The tenant, if they agree to it, that could be fine, but usually they're not going to agree to that either. So give us enough notice, at least 24 hours, probably 72 or even a week would be better, just so that we can line up these showings with the tenants and make sure that we can get you and them into the property, or you into the property with them. And it would also allow us to put other properties that come on the market into your showing, and also to let us take off any particular properties. If you are purchasing a property with a tenant in there, one of the most important things is to look at the lease, because you are going to be the person who is taking over that lease, and you're going to be agreeing to the terms and conditions of the lease. So something to consider is, if the new mortgage on that property is going to be $2,000 a month and the rent is $1,500 a month, and you've got 6 months left on the rent, that is really something that you're going to need to consider, because no, you are not allowed to kick the tenant out. You are not allowed to break the lease, and you are not allowed to change the terms of the lease unless, of course, the tenant agrees to all of those. And I haven't seen a tenant that said, "Great, you're my new landlord. By all means, please kick me out and please raise for my rent." So that hasn't happened. Um, and if you do not want to manage it yourself, which you absolutely could do, then there is also going to be the cost of a property management company as well. So those are just things that you are going to want to consider. Now, another option, of course, is condos. Condos are usually around 2 bedrooms or 1 bedroom, close to the university. There are some 3 bedrooms, but 2 bedrooms is really the norm. When we get into the 3 and 4 bedrooms, we're a little further away from the university. And something to consider with condos is, most condos have, I see on average, around at least $400 a month for their condo bill. So when you're looking at a condo that might be $300,000 and it's got a $400 a month association bill, versus a house that might be 325 but it has no homeowners association, you're going to want to look to see, where do your payments fall, because I don't know what your credit score is or how much money you're putting down. And so those will have an impact in your monthly payment. So factor that into it, because as you, well, maybe I can't say that your dues are not deductible, because it depends on if this is going to be a property management investment for you. So I will not speak to that. Um, but let's look at the condos, what you would get with a condo and where it's going to be at. Here, when we're looking at condos, we see that we don't have any in that little quadrant that I was talking to you about, and that's because these are normally single family homes. I will add a townhouse here and see if anything comes up as far as a townhouse. They come up in this area. So we're seeing that there's one. So this townhouse is here, but look at that. The HOA dues are $500 a month for this one, just so we can see what we're looking at for this one. With most townhouses, you do want to consider the stairs. Normally, there isn't a problem with reselling properties with stairs, but if this ends up being somebody who is older or has mobility issues that's looking at it, you do pull out a portion of your buyer pool when you do have stairs in here. Townhouse looks to be in good shape. It does have the darker cabinets. Right now, we're seeing the trend is more towards the lighter colored cabinets and the lighter colored countertops. But if you are somebody who likes the darker, then you've got to win that somebody agrees with you and you actually have an option, because with everybody going the white or the light gray, it's really removed a lot of options for people who do like the darker. Okay, so 288 less as far as purchase price, but $500 a month. And of course, that is variable. That could go up or down any given year, but I normally see dues go up on homeowner associations and condos. So now let's look at the other condos here. We have one at 412, We've got another one at 345. Seem to have a little bit of a freezing issue. Okay. So we've got one at 412, 439, 345, and 350. Now, this is pretty close to the hospital. You can tell that the ones that are the closest to the hospital here are more expensive, and then the ones that are just a little bit further away are less expensive. Now, these that are further away in the 300s, these are 4-bedroom, 4 baths. A lot of people do like those as far as property management if you're going to get into investment properties because you can rent out each room individually and have a lease per room. Um, Personally, I consider that to be a nightmare. I do property management, and I could not imagine having 4 separate leases and having to manage 4 separate people, and then they don't get along. So, but it is lucrative for those of the people that do have the stomach for that, and that is why they do it, is because it can be very, very lucrative. You just have to know your personality style. Here we have some other properties that are also condos. As you can tell, they are further away. So there is a good bus route that's over here that you would be able to get onto. A lot of student population do live in this area, but it's not exclusively student. There are a lot of professionals in here. There are a lot of people in the vet school in here, and there are a lot of first-time homebuyers or retirees, but predominantly, if you look at the geography of it, and you look at the demographic information, you'll see that the majority of the people are going to be younger just because it's more condo and student driven. And so this kind of gives you an idea of what you're going to get. These are also condos right here as well. Um, if you want a house, you're predominantly in this area. If you're looking for condos, you're more in this area, down here, and in this area. So you can see you're a little bit further away. They're all still pretty close to the University of Florida. They're all still going to have pretty good resaleability in there. It's just going to come down to, do you want a house or do you want a condo? And how far apart do you want to be? So, would love to help you with any questions you have and schedule any showings of the properties when you come to town. I would say for my people that are thinking of moving here, it is I am happy to set up showings for you if you know 100% that Gainesville is going to be your home. If you have not decided that Gainesville is going to be your home, I highly recommend that at any point you drive the areas and make sure that you love the areas and you're like, yeah, no, I love this area. I can see myself living close to here and being close to that. And then we'll schedule a showing because if we schedule a showing and you don't even know if you want to live here, we are disrupting a homeowner, we are disrupting their family, we're disrupting the students in school that may be studying for an exam. And I, in good conscience, cannot do that. I will not do that. So I will only schedule showings for people that are truly decided that they are going to move to the university area, that they are going to call Gainesville their home, and they have also gone through either the lender pre-approval process and or have proof of funds. Because if you have gone that far, I know you're pretty serious. If you haven't gone that far, you may still be thinking about it. And again, I do not want to put those people out unless you 100% know that this is where you want to be. And then we'll go see all the homes that you like. So let me know what questions you have. I'd be happy to help you.